I found this gentleman named Cody Tucker on Instagram, and I love what he does. He's got a show that he does where I haven't seen the show, but I only saw the clips that he did on YouTube, and I was already blown away, where he just talks about interesting stories, and he does it in a manner that is a great delivery, and you walk away going, holy crap, how did I live this long without knowing any of that stuff? Let's welcome back to the show, Cody Tucker. How are you, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you?
I still can't get past some of the people that you have that are related to each other.
Oh, yeah, there's some crazy ones.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is. And then now a lot of stuff about the CIA and the Grateful Dead, and there's some crazy things happening. What do we got this week?
All right, so got a pretty interesting story going back to the early to mid-'60s. So in the mid-'60s, there's a teenage fella named James Johnson. James Johnson is enrolled in the Naval Reserves. One day gets called up for active duty. He does not want to go, so he flees to Canada. His first day in Toronto, Canada, this group of guys try to jump him. Welcome to Canada. A person steps in to stop the fight and help the young man. The man that saved him was a guy named Levon Helm, who would go on to join the band. Levon Helm, after finding out that James Johnson was also a musician, introduces him to a local band called the Mina Birds, and James Johnson ends up becoming their new singer. They then bring in an up-and-coming guitarist named Neil Young and sign a record deal with Motown. Only problem is that Motown is based out of Detroit, and James Johnson is still AWOL. So when they go to the U.S., he is immediately arrested. That is the end of the Mina Birds. Neil Young goes on to join Buffalo Springfield, and some of the other members go on to create the band Steppenwolf. As for James Johnson, he eventually gets released and makes a career for himself under his new stage name, Rick James.
No way.
Yeah.
I have never heard that before. I did know that Neil Young did have some sort of contract with Motown, but I couldn't figure out why. He was in a band with Rick James.
Yes. So he ended up he was the replacement guitarist for a guitarist who was already in the band. And, being based out of Canada, Neil Young had already kind of gotten a little attention. So they brought him in to be the guitarist. So he, at one point, was in a band with Rick James.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And Levon Helm?
So Levon Helm introduced him to that band. So Levon Helm saved him from, getting jumped by some rowdy Canadians and introduced him to the fellas in the Mina Birds. So that's kind of the end of Levon Helm.
Rick James is a draft dodger. I did not know that either.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes, he was.